Welcome back to KCTV English News. I'm Angel Kim. The first damage suit against the state filed by victims of the April 3rd incident has officially begun. The Jeju District Court held the first hearing of the damage suit against the state on October 29th. The suit was filed by 39 surviving prisoners and bereaved families. The attorney representing the surviving prisoners stated that the April 3rd incident has caused the plaintiffs a great deal of pain throughout their lives. He added that as there is no objective evidence left because the incident happened over 70 years ago, they should receive the right to be acknowledged based on their personal statements. The Korea Government Legal Service said that the evidence presented by the plaintiffs alone cannot fully prove the illegality of the damage and added that the amount of compensation claims is excessive. The court made the decision to continue with the second hearing on January 28th of next year and asked the plaintiffs to submit more detailed evidence of the damage. The Jeju Tourism Organization is suffering from a series of business failures and operating deficits, has issued an apology to the public. Hyun Chang-haeng, the acting president of the Jeju Tourism Organization, held a press conference at the Jeju Welcome Center on the morning of the 29th and announced that they have been facing the biggest management crisis since its foundation. He acknowledged that the organization has not played its respective role as a public corporation and added that they will refocus on innovations in business management. JTO plans to establish specific implementation strategies by carrying out a management diagnosis made by a team of external experts. Jeju Black Cattle, the island's indigenous cattle breed, is recognized as a superb brand of beef even when compared to the flavor of Korean Hanu. However, black cattle beef is not distinguished on the shelves of supermarkets, and they are simply labeled as Korean beef. Fewer cattle farmers choose the breed as the Jeju species requires a longer breeding period. Local researchers have found specific genome sequences to distinguish the Jeju cattle from Hanu, which means the indigenous species can now be labeled as Jeju black cattle and become competitive in the market. Mike Laidman reports.
That's right. Jeju Island features not only black pigs, but also indigenous black cows with square shoulders and shorter, thicker legs. In fact, out of the roughly 36,000 beef cows on Jeju, fewer than 2,000 are the indigenous variety. The Jeju black cattle take longer to mature because of their lack of breeding. This means that they also cost more to raise. The Jeju cattle go through a strict accreditation process at each stage, from farm to slaughterhouse, but in the end, they are just sold as regular Korean cattle. But now, thanks to the efforts of researchers, Jeju black cattle will soon be what consumers see on store labels. A research group led by Park Se-pil, professor at Jeju National University, has successfully found the specific genetic sequences of the Jeju black cattle. Meat produced from the cattle will now be labeled with its own name and variety.
제주 후구도 소도책 등급 판정 결과서에 기존에는 한우로만 적혀져 있었지만 이제 제주 후구라고 표기가 됨으로써
Moving forward, securing healthy and sound black cows is the priority for breeding programs, which will help the animals become more attractive and thus more commercialized. Mike Laidman, KCTV.
Thank you for joining us today at KCTV English News. Please follow us on YouTube at KCTV eNews Jeju and on KCTV's VOD service. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week.